What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, the real Jussy of the Distorted Theorists. And just a few days ago at the Game Awards, it was a great time, like me, to be a Tomb Raider fan because we got not one, but two announcements, and I'm going to get into both and break down both with some theories here today. But before I do, as always, if you want to support the channel, we do appreciate if you would just take 1 second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tomb Raider, it's been a minute since we got a new, I guess, mainline game. The Survivor series, as they call it, the last trilogy, was a great origin story for Lara, in my opinion. You know, you really got to see where she came from, her struggles, and how she became the survivor that we know in Tomb Raider, well, 1, if all you guys started as old as me back then. Speaking of Tomb Raider 1, that's where I want to start. They are giving us a full remake, revamp, whatever word you want to use, of Tomb Raider 1. They're calling it Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, or Legend of Atlantis. My God, I missed that part. But I just want to let you guys know, I'm not blowing smoke here. As you can see, my Lara in the wetsuit over in my cabinet, and of course I have the Scion of Atlantis actual artifact from the Tomb Raider store. I'm a huge Tomb Raider fan. It's what got me into gaming, if I'm being honest. I actually watched my buddy's mom play this on computer because we weren't allowed to play it at the time because there was guns and shooting and killing and all that stuff. But it's just something about the strong female character of Lara Croft that, as I think, captivated so many gamers out there throughout our gaming lives, and the stories that they keep telling with her, some are misses, don't get me wrong, Angel of Darkness, I'm looking at you, even Underworld, which I was a fan of, but when you go back now and look at it, I think I played on PS3, if I'm not mistaken, you know, does it hold up? Does it hold the weight? But that's for the next part of this video. Again, Tomb Raider, the remake, the Legend of Atlantis, Legacy of Atlantis, whatever we're calling it. We're going back to the roots. Now, here's what I want to see. I've already seen the trailer, but we're going to watch it again and do a little reaction in the sense of, I'm going to give you some commentary on what I think and what I can't wait to see. But I want to see some expansion. I want to see them take Peru. And before, I know they did this in Tomb Raider Anniversary, if I'm not mistaken. You actually climb a little bit and do some actions to get to that original door where the two wolves come and get you right away. I want to see more to that. How do we get to Peru? Why are we there? I know, yes, Natla Technologies and all this are trying to get you to go there, but I want to see why. I want to see, and I want to play to get there. I don't want to just be cinematic shoehorned in. I want to get to that gate and then enter the temple, and I just want to see them make things bigger, and I think that's what we're about to see. So without further ado, first, let's get into the Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis, Legend of Atlantis, I don't even know, trailer reaction review and breakdown right now.
It's been years.
See, right away, if that's the scope we're getting of Peru, because this seems like it's the Peruvian opening, and we see those events are still, we see the icy mountains in the distance. See, those icy mountains are in the distance, so I'm hoping we got to go through some shit to get there.
Lost World,
bro. Lost World, which is the name of one of the levels with the dinosaurs.
New discoveries.
It looks good, man. It
waiting
looks
behind
good, like
every door.
And there's going to be new mechanics. You know they're going to give us some goodies.
Across every chasm.
And I love this part. I love that part. That's straight into the game.
I didn't know then.
And here's the best part.
This adventure would send me
on. Two on the side that you didn't even know were there. That's in game. That part right there was definitely in game. You can do a back jump.
That still burns.
And I got theories on this game, how it's going to play out too. And this is all like level, that was in game. That was like, this is all level 1.
Of Atlantis.
Take me back, baby, take me back. And I don't remember ice. There's a wolf. The double pistols are back. The T-Rex, I think it's T-Rex, looks a little different.
Some legends are
and that door is just iconic. I can't wait, bro. It's only next year. Okay, Legacy of Atlantis, okay, Tomb Raider. It's a remake, but it isn't. I really believe that they are going to do some massive... Okay, well, we already had Tomb Raider 1. Then they remade it somewhat with Tomb Raider Anniversary. Then we recently got the Tomb Raider 1 to 3 and 4 to 6 remastered, okay? I really don't see Crystal Dynamics and the Tomb Raider team just giving us another, you know, overlay of better graphics over the same game. I really think what they're going to do is they're going to give us the levels that they just... It was ahead of its time back then, you know? So I think they're going to give us those levels like The Last World and you know, Rome and Egypt and Underground at Atlantis and with Natla's Mines and all that stuff. I think they're just going to take that and they're going to explode it big time, because I think this game is honestly going to be a lot of fan service. But I was sitting, after I seen this trailer, I was like, well, what's driving them to retell this story, you know? And of course, and I'm going to get to this in a second, we know that they announced Tomb Raider Catalyst as well, which we know is all going to be canon. But I think this Legacy of Atlantis, you're going to see some cutscenes throughout the whole game, especially in the beginning and the middle, where I think Lara is going to be recollecting from her older self, maybe one closer to the age she is in Catalyst, reflecting on when she went to Atlantis. Now, I don't know if she's going to be telling friends or a colleague or maybe a kid. Maybe she has a kid or something we don't know about, which would be really cool. But I feel like she's going to retell the story. And I think what's going to happen is we're just going to get more details of that story. She's going to embellish more than what the first game ever gave us. So I think when she thinks about, okay, she's going to Peru, she got to find this Temple of Scion and get the first piece and all that. I think she's just going to remember a whole lot more, which is going to give us more exposition and just give us bigger levels, because I want to make sure that, like, okay, I think it's in Rome when you're playing and, you know, the Midas Temple part, but then there's the Norse gods or something. I think there was Poseidon, or I'm probably misspeaking here, but there was the Poseidon, and then and I don't know if it was Thor or Odin. There was, you know, there was different tasks you had to do to get each piece and to move on. Again, it's been years, folks, since I played the original. I want to see, like, each one of those get an hour or two of gameplay per god, you know? I just want to see them take the levels, expand it. If the first game was 20 hours to complete, I want to see this be like 60, bro. Like give us that. We deserve it. But that's what I think. I think Lara's going to be sitting back and retelling someone, or for some reason, she needs to revisit this story. There's got to be a reason. That's the one thing I'm going to be looking out for, because the gameplay looks sick. I'm going to be all in on this game next year. But there's got to be a reason. Why? First of all, why is it a legacy of it? Like why? Obviously, it's the one that defined her to us, the gamers. We know that it's the one that defined her, but why does she think it's the one that defined her, you know? That's where I want to get into the character. I want to know why the producers are retelling this story. I want to know why Lara feels we, as the players, need to revisit this story. Is it to set up Catalyst? I really don't think so. I think, first of all, the producers of this game, they want us to get the mechanics down. So they're giving us the original one, not just for a retelling of the story to get fans like us, new and old, to join, but I think the mechanics that are going to be used in this game are going to be, if not identical to what's going to be used in Catalyst. So I think they're going to set us up to be familiar with this Lara, as opposed to being familiar, most new players are familiar with the survivor Lara from Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and Rise of the Tomb Raider. So I think they're going to give us a little bit of different now. Get us back to that dual pistols, because you know they're in the Catalyst trailer. We'll talk about that in a second. But that's why I think, I'd love for, if anyone's watching this right now, I'd love for you to comment down below anything you caught in the trailer. If anything I'm saying matches up with maybe a theory you had, or give me your own theory. I'd love, there's no wrong answer here, guys. If you're a Tomb Raider fan, I want to hear from you. I want to speak with you. We do respond to every comment, so please blow it up down below. I want to talk to you. Switching gears, I'd love to say I'm more excited for Tomb Raider Catalyst, the other game that was announced coming in 2027, but Legacy of Atlantis holds a special place in my heart. I mean, I got the Scion. But Tomb Raider Catalyst is going to be a brand new game from what they're telling us. There is a woman of color that is an antagonist in the trailer, seemingly. I hope they don't revisit Trinity. I'm kind of over that a little bit now. People are saying this game is going to fall after Underworld. I really hope they don't dabble in too much of the doppelganger nonsense. So there's a few things I want to, you know what? Let's relook so I can get my thoughts back together. Let's get into the trailer reaction review and breakdown for the brand new Tomb Raider Catalyst right now.
The entire world knows your legend.
And they do, and they do.
You survived.
She looks fit as
triangle
and ripped. There's
Crossed
Easter
the
eggs all over
threshold
that.
to Atlantis.
This is new. This is new, which
I've
I'm
heard a
digging. It's new
dozen
technology.
tall tales that
Lara
say
should
you're
evolve in the game just like
unstoppable.
normal technology does. I want to see an older Lara too. We've
But
seen
I
some young,
say
immature Lara,
all legends
right?
must
Green,
come to an
wet behind the
end.
ears, Lara. Dual pistols right off the rip. That's going to be cool, and you're going to get to use that, I got a
That's where
feeling,
you're wrong.
frequently.
I'm just getting started.
People mad about the face, but I'm okay with it. You know, Lara doesn't stay young forever. That's actually like something games don't do. I want to see new landscapes. I want to see new points of interest. Take us somewhere in the world we've never been, you know? Maybe sprinkle a little bit of revisiting from Tomb Raider 2, which is probably my favorite one. And the name Catalyst, we got to talk about that as well. 2027. We ready. We ready. Okay. Tomb Raider Catalyst. Now, first thing we want to talk about is that subtitle. Catalyst to me means to, you know, set something off, to begin something. A lot of people are speculating that maybe this is the start of a new trilogy of older Lara. I'm all about it if it is. More Tomb Raider in my life, in my gaming world, never hurts. But there's got to be something underlying. And honestly, I'm going to leave this up to you guys because I don't have any theories for Catalyst. Why? It seems a bit of a bland name, if I'm being honest. I don't know if it's a placeholder. This was obviously just a cinematic trailer, so there's a lot of time for them to polish it up. They're just giving us a tease right now. Obviously, it's probably still even being worked on. And I honestly don't know if Catalyst is what's going to stick, but I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Why Catalyst? Now, as I said earlier in the video, a lot of people are saying that this is a sequel to Underworld. They're making everything canon. They're trying to get their ducks in a row because they got off the rails a little bit. But here's where another theory comes in for Tomb Raider Catalyst. They're giving us Legacy of Atlantis first. And I always, like when I seen that, I was so excited that, you know, you don't think about it. But then you sit back like, why Legacy of Atlantis first? Besides maybe getting us used to the gameplay and the visuals. But why giving us Legacy of Atlantis first, then Catalyst? And here's my theory on that. I think Legacy of Atlantis is going to swerve us. I think it's going to end differently than the original Tomb Raider 1 did. I don't know how, because I do want to see Natla, one of the greatest antagonists of the gaming world, in my opinion. I want to see her die. I think that needs to happen still. But for some reason, I think something in Legacy of Atlantis, again, as I said earlier in the video, it's going to be, you know, Lara's going to be replaying this in her head, telling someone the story. And I'm thinking she's going to get a detail wrong or something. I think at the end, it's going to change. Like, I remember it happening this way, but I actually remember it happening this way. And it's going to take all of us fans and just shake up the timeline as we know it. A little distorted theory, I don't know. But Catalyst, right now, all they're showing us is Lara has gotten older, matured greatly, by the way. She's got the dual pistols back. You know, we've been waiting for it. Possible new antagonist of that woman of color. We didn't get a name or anything. She doesn't give me big bad vibes. To me, she gives vibes of she's working for someone. Even the way she's talking is like someone's informed her or warned her of who Lara is, not that she's studied her on her own. Again, that's just the vibe I'm picking up off a 1.5-minute trailer. And then, of course, wherever that temple is or whatever, all the stuff starts rooting up at the ground and there's a temple came up in the distance. I don't know the location. Please, in the comments, if you feel like you got that location figured out, let me know. The way that the spires came up and the temple kind of looked like it could be in India somewhere, perhaps, or in the Middle East at least. But That's the good thing about Tomb Raider, man. You never know where you're going. If you don't read spoilers, you never know where you're going. You never know what the next clue is going to reveal. The character just evolves. You get new weapons in a subtle way. It's not force-fed down your throat. You find them naturally. If you remember from Tomb Raider 1, you find the shotgun on a dead skeleton. It doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to know who the baddies is. In the first Tomb Raider, one thing I loved, and Tomb Raider 2 as well, is you fight a lot of animals and stuff, the wolves, the monkeys, the dinosaurs. Even though it's not realistic, I'm down. And then in Tomb Raider 2, which is probably my favorite Tomb Raider by way of all time, you fight the Yetis and the tigers and stuff like that. I love all that. Some of the Tomb Raider games, especially the last trilogy, was very human heavy. You are killing a lot of foot soldiers. This one seems to be going in that direction, but I really want to bring it back to some of that like natural instinct, predator prey type vibe, in the jungles. I want spiders. Remember when you had to kill spiders and snakes, anacondas and all that jazz? That's what I want to see again. That to me is Tomb Raider. For those of you who are watching and don't know, right here, I am the author of a book called The Mists of Morn. I read the Tomb Raider 10,000 Immortals. It was huge inspiration along with the Survivor trilogy and of course all the originals. The main character of my book is called Emily Owens. She is very much similar and like-minded to my favorite character probably of all time, Lara Croft. So when I wrote my novel, I had to let them know that I can tell a story with a strong female character with a little bit of mysticism. It is in the link tree if you want to check it out. This is not a plug, but we do have a link tree. I sell it on Amazon. If you want to check it out, it's 350 pages of goodness, ladies and gentlemen. And it is inspired by our girl, Lara Croft. What can be said? I mean, if you look at the short list of historical video game characters that will go down in history, will make the Hall of Fame, if you will, Lara Croft got to be sitting up there in your top 5. I don't care what anyone says. She defined the genre. She defined gaming. She defined strong female leads that were exciting to play, to learn about. Not just the glitz and the glam and the looks, even though we know she was given some features in the beginning, but they worked themselves out. We got out of that era, okay? Now we're somewhere in the middle, all right? Survivor and Hot Lara. What can you say? But ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited. It's a great time, as I said, to be a Tomb Raider fan. We're getting 2 games back-to-back years. They look dope. Yes, there's some polishing going to happen. I hope there's no redundancy of like playing the same thing over and over. I want to feel like the Legacy of Atlantis is teaching me a new legacy, something different from what I already know, but have that underlying familiarity so that when I walk in a temple, I'm like, oh yeah, this is what we could have had if this graphics existed 30 some years ago when Tomb Raider came out. That's my hope. I don't know what you guys think, but I do want to know what you guys think. So please hit up the comments below and let me know if anything I've said is totally out to lunch. Any theory is not off the table. I want to hear about them in the comments. And enjoy gaming, guys. The Tomb Raider, if you haven't never played one, I strongly urge you to pick up the remastered versions, pick up the latest and greatest, go back and play the originals, whatever you got to do to get behind Lara Croft, because I'm telling you right now, this franchise is not slowing down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for my Tomb Talk, if you will, right? Of Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis, and Tomb Raider Catalyst. As always, if you want to support the channel, I do appreciate if you would just take 1 second to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let me know in the comments below, are these 2 games a day one for you? What are your hopes and dreams for Tomb Raider, Legacy of Atlantis, and Tomb Raider Catalyst? And where in the timelines do you think these will ultimately fit in the canonically Tomb Raider franchise? And with that, I am the real Jussy of the Distorted Theorists. And like we always say around here, keep it real.